NFTs are making artists, developers, and everyday people like us millions of dollars. Wait, no, scratch that. Billions of dollars on their NFT artwork. From Gary Vee's VeeFriends to Doja Cat starting her own NFT project, and even people like Tom Brady. And this is just a small fractional list of the people who have all jumped on to the NFT gravy train. And with so much excitement in this space, today we're going to be talking about Logan Paul's new NFT project called CryptoZoo. Now, Logan Paul is a popular creator, and you probably have heard of him as well. But the crazy thing is, this isn't Logan's first NFT project. He also had a helping hand in another project called Dink Doink Coin, but now is finally launching his own, which is CryptoZoo. And this project, he proclaims, is going to be the next big thing, quite possibly the biggest and greatest NFT project to this date. But without any further ado, let's dive into CryptoZoo, how it works, is it unique, and does it actually have the massive growth potential that Logan Paul thinks that it will have? So real quick, what is an NFT for those maybe 6 or 7 of you that are watching this that have never heard of that before? Now, an NFT is simply a non-fungible token, and even more simply, it's a one-of-a-kind image. Now, this thing can get really complicated, but to keep this very surface level, it can kind of be seen like a Pokemon card or a sports card. There can be lots of variations of the same one, just numbered differently. And the main difference between physical cards and NFTs is that they're virtual and they can't be just copy and pasted and are secured and verified by the blockchain. But what is CryptoZoo and what makes it special? Essentially, all it is an NFT project that has a bunch of eggs that hatch into pictures of animals. Now, those animals were kind of ripped off from Adobe stock images, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But then from the time that these animals hatch, they can be bred and they can also be sold on the marketplace. Obviously, when they're sold, you make money, but when they're bred, they hatch new animals that are hybrid-like animals. Essentially, animals that don't exist in real life. Like this panda on the screen is an elephant panda, and this penguin is now a penguin shark. But when it comes to the uniqueness of the project, at the end of the day, it's nothing really new. If you're a 90s or even 80s baby, you probably remember Tamagotchis, which had a very similar concept. Or if you want a crypto reference, well, CryptoKitties and Axie Infinity tend to come to mind. And I think that he wants this to be unique and special, maybe as special as something like Pokemon was for a lot of us growing up. And the reason for this thought is not just because it can make him a lot of money, because in an interview, he mentions how he wants this to be recognized as a game and not just an NFT project, which is hard to do when there's not really a game behind it. And Pokemon being the most popular and well-known animal game in existence, which would make sense why he would want to title it alongside that franchise. And so how does this all work out and play out for Logan Paul? Well, Logan Paul and the team actually make money every time someone buys the eggs, and also every single time something happens on the network. So if I wanted to sell you one of my animals for you to be able to breed it, they take a percentage of the cut that it is sold for. And in all simplicity, all it is buying an egg, hatching it, breeding it, and then trading it, all meanwhile paying network fees to Logan Paul and the team. And then you keep doing this until the animal combos run out, which they eventually will. And one huge big flaw that I see with this is that when you get to the end of the breeding cycle, is that the game is no longer a game and turns out to be just a weird looking animal that anyone with basic Photoshop skills like CoffeeZilla or you and I can make on our own. The other pretty big problem that I see with this is that a lot of people are going to get burned. Because Logan Paul is who he is and has a very powerful community behind him, a lot of people will buy in with the expectation to make lots and lots of money. CryptoZoo will likely gain traction for a few months or maybe even a year or two. And then once Logan Paul and the team likely make the money that they were looking to make, they'd likely abandon the project. Now, if Logan Paul truly wanted to make this a long-lasting idea and something that can actually compete with a franchise like Pokemon, the smart thing to do would be to make a Pokemon knockoff type game with the revenue that he's making from the NFT project itself, and to push it to the audience that is looking to buy this NFT project. And I think unless unless he makes that a reality, it will likely just become a novelty for a little while and then fall off like Dink Doink Coin did as well. And a question you might be asking is, how much money did Logan Paul actually make on this project? Well, when you consider with the number of eggs that there were and the fact that all the eggs had sold out, Logan Paul and his team netted just right around $1.8 million from Ethereum and BNB combined. And remember that this is before any trading or hatching of the eggs themselves, which will likely make the team at least double what they originally made just in the first few months. And the big bonus is that they will continuously make money as these things are traded or bought and sold on the ecosystem. And so the more that these things are traded, which is why he wants to call it a game, the more fees that they make off of each transaction, right? But the big question is it a scam or is it legit? And CoffeeZilla, the famous internet detective, had posted a huge thread on Twitter all about this coin, which to his credit has plenty of valid points to think about. But what about the actual price of the coin? Could the coin itself be a good source of investment? Since most of the time buying the ecosystem can be a much safer and more lucrative way to invest in a certain project. And honestly, if we look at the chart, this doesn't look too good. This whole CryptoZoo thing kind of reminds me of this chart of, wait, this is Dink Doink Coin. Now, of course, I'm not accusing Logan Paul of anything or his team of anything. And if any of them watch this video, I think this is just me giving them some advice. And if they really wanted to take this project to the next level and make it something that's impactful and is remembered for generations like Pokemon is, well, then they should actually build a game on the backbone of this project. And for you as an investor, remember that there's so many ways that you can make money in the NFT space moving forward. And a lot of the NFT projects that you actually want to be buying will have a long-term perspective, like merging NFTs into video games, for example, at-home art that you could possibly show off to your friends in the physical world, or even better, things that you can actually exchange that have real-life value, like meet and greets, one-on-ones with the creator, or even VIP concert tickets to your favorite artist for as long as you hold that particular NFT. But because of the lack of roadmap and actual over-delivering on what was promised, a lot of people are pointing to this and saying this is just another cash grab. I'll likely continue to buy projects that actually have long-term roadmaps and even more so, ecosystems that these projects are built upon. It's the same concept of whether you wanted to buy Pokemon merchandise or would you rather buy Nintendo stock. The same thing can exist in the NFT space where you either buy an NFT or you buy the NFT ecosystems that these things are built on. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, YouTube suggests that you watch these videos as well.